Everybody, all right, so it's time for week 3, and we're going to take a walk and see what we got growing. And we've got a lot of growth this week. All right, so we're going to start over here. So here, we look in here. We got some tomatoes coming up. They're probably about 2 inches. They're looking pretty good. We got a little tiny basil down there. It's not looking too great, but it should be okay. All right, so that's one bucket. All right, now moving on. Come over here. We got a couple huge tomato plants. They're probably about 2.5 inches. We got a small one. It's not looking too healthy there. Since it has been 3 weeks, I actually reseeded the basil on both of these sides here, as well as in the other bucket. Anything where they're missing, I actually reseeded. So now here we have our first marigold, and there's not a single trace of a marigold in there. It's horrible. I don't know what's going on. So, and I'm going to show you why in a minute, because over here in this marigold, we have a bunch of sprouts in this marigold. So at least we're going to get some of the marigold and have some of their properties. Alright, so now in here we've got cilantro on both sides. No jalapeno sprouts, so again, we reseeded them. Everything should come up here soon in a little bit. Come over to the second jalapeno and cilantro. As you can see, we have 2 cilantros, 1 jalapeno, so of course I reseeded there. Now coming over to the mint and eggplant, we have an eggplant sprout. I replanted an eggplant. Mint might not just grow in this environment, so we might be asked out on mint, but we're going to try it in a different way. So at any rate, all right, so now moving on to the big one. Here we have our first of the 4 sisters bucket, and as you can see here, if you come down, you can see the corn over the edge. This is a tall, beautiful corn stalk here. We got a sunflower right there in the back. We got a really tall green bean. It's looking strong. Then we have 2 spaghetti squashes growing in on both sides. So that's doing fantastic there. All right, moving on to the second one. We have a sunflower there. We got a single squash down there. We got a really tall corn. And we have a pretty strong green bean growing in there. All right, moving over to the third bucket. We got a squash there. A sunflower, real strong in the back. It's probably the tallest sunflower. We got a good healthy corn stalk here, and then we do have a green bean growing in there. It's got like, I don't know, it's like 3rd or 4th leaves growing. Now coming over here, oh yeah, and any of these that are missing the sprouts, I've actually replanted them. So, and then over here we got a corn stalk, we got our sunflower, we've got 2 healthy green beans, and we have a squash that's on its look like 4th leaves. And then over here we replanted a seed there. Should sprout in a little while. And this one here on the end, this is kind of our weak one, but we do have a healthy sunflower, nice looking corn stalk, pretty good looking squash, and we have a green bean that, even though it's not looking good, it's still growing strong. All right, then over here in the wild, we planted a squash, and it's starting to spring up pretty good there. All right, now coming over here, this one is like just amazing growth here. This was like a bundle of spaghetti squash seeds. All the squash are spaghetti, but this one is just, as you can see, this sucker's just growing. Now this is really good soil. A lot of this came from my compost, and we have some, I think that's a basil there, and I'm not sure what these are down here, but it looks promising. We'll see if we can get a focus in there. Yeah, not sure what those are, but we got something growing up in there. But this one's growing real good. The tree's dead, but everything else is growing real good. Now let's come over to our final, which is of course our old compost bucket. And you can just see from over there. So now of course the side that gets the most sun is the tallest right here, but it's all growing. I mean, you can barely see the compost pile anymore because there's just so much foliage growing there. So hopefully with when all gets said and done, I should end up with 80 to 100 squash this season, which is going to be fantastic because we do love the spaghetti squash here. So, well, yeah, so that's where we're at for this week. And I'm really looking forward to watching this grow. I might not do an update next week. I might be switching them out to every other week or even just once a month. But because as you can see, we're in the desert. It's growing. Stuff's growing great. And pretty soon we're going to have some fresh fruits and vegetables coming up. So, all right, until next time, this is what you got to do. You got to keep prepping.